Hello, everyone. Yeah, a couple of technical snafus here. We should be live on both um, Facebook as well as YouTube. I will be keeping an eye on that, but we should be. Um, we Things are a little bit wild today because we're not working from our normal offices. But welcome. Yes, welcome to Monadnock Tonight. It is Thursday, December 17th, 2020. It's about 6 p.m. here on the East Coast, and I am Steve Jackson, the CEO and Managing Director of the Park Theater, and your weekly host. Yes, we have some. This is a beautiful day, and but for when you're doing things like this, sometimes and where you have to do them from, you get a few things don't go exactly as you like them to. But because we have quite a bit of snow, and everyone has quite a bit of snow, and so we are doing the show from home today. So you will, well, number one, you might see a cat in my lap before the end of the show. But we needed to do it that way because there's just no use going out in the amount of snow that we've got out there, and people are clearing it and keep everybody safe. So, but it's 21 crisp degrees here in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, and I'm glad you made it. Glad you're here because we have two groups of some of the most talented people ever that I cannot wait to bring on and to chat with because they have amazing projects that are about to unfold in this wonderful holiday month of December. But before we get to that, we've got a couple of things going on, one of which will become clear with one of our guests of what we're producing. But let me just remind everyone, and I hope we're going out into the wild yonder. I don't see anything on out there, but if anyone does see us, could you just write a comment either at YouTube or at Facebook? Oh, no, we're out there. I see now. I'm seeing start to populate. We have a show coming up tomorrow, and we have those are part of our guests that are here tonight. It is a live production of It's a Wonderful Life, and our live radio play that will be produced at 7 p.m., absolutely live from via Zoom through Broadway On Demand and into your home. And it starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $12.50. All you have to do is head on over to our website, and you will see it right on the homepage at theparktheater.org. And you can buy yourself a ticket for tomorrow night. They're $12.50. Buy one, buy two. Of course, you need it per household, but you can buy as many as you like. We won't mind. But just go to theparktheater.org and you can get your tickets. But we're going to be talking to some members of the cast, the director of it. You might have seen on Facebook last week, we had a lovely interview with Joe Landry, who was the playwright of this adaptation of this wonderful Frank Capra, Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, beyond classic holiday film. And he rewrote it as if it was a radio, a movie being done as a radio play, set in 1946. So I think you're going to enjoy that. So stay tuned. And as we talk to the cast, what else do we have going on? Well, we have, let's see, another poster. We have a Christmas Carol. Now, we're going to be talking about a Christmas Carol that is being produced locally here with Project Shakespeare. Here is another Christmas Carol that has been done with Jefferson Mays, and it's a one-man show. It's gotten incredible reviews, produced on stage down in New York. And the New York Times gave it a critic's pick, and New York Stage Review gave it 5 stars. That is available right now. So if you go to theparktheater.org and right below It's a Wonderful Life, you will see a link to get to A Christmas Carol. There are very few theaters in the United States that are presenting this. We're lucky enough to be one of the ones in New England. I think in New Hampshire, it's Seacoast Rep and ourselves that are presenting it this month. But it was filmed last month in New York, and it's available anytime. And just go to theparktheater.org. Now, it's a pricier production. It is $50 per household to watch it for 24 hours. But I must tell you that the producers, out of that fee, make a donation of $20 per ticket that comes back to the Park Theater as a donation. So there is definitely something in it to support the Park Theater as well. But I think you will have a captivating evening as Jefferson Mays, Tony Award winner, director, is a Tony Award winning director. And it's, as I say, it's gotten incredible reviews. So please see A Christmas Carol. And then we're going to talk about another Christmas Carol in a few minutes. And what else do we have? Well, I'm talking about things that have has price tag to them. This has no price tag to it because this starts tomorrow in our Holiday Film Fest. That is our Park Pix Flicks, and we've had a whole bunch of holiday films over the past since Thanksgiving. This one is a cult classic. If you haven't seen it, you must. Made in, I think, 1963, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. So there will be, you can go to Park Pix Flicks at theparktheater.org. Again, you can use that URL. Go to and up in the upper right, you'll see Park Pix Flicks, and you hit it there, and you see not only this film, but all the other films that are available free of charge that we curate for you. And also there will be a link tomorrow, and for our Facebook friends that are on there, we will that are on with us tonight. We will. You can just go to the Facebook post and click to watch it from there. So that's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. It's a little bit different for holiday fare of movies. A little bit different from Wonderful Life or A Christmas Carol. But for those who like something a little more bent and a little bit more kind of retro fun, I think you'll enjoy that. So that's what we've got going on now. Something that we're going to be announcing in a few days. We're just working out our ticketing for it. We're going to be having a New Year's Eve party right online, a virtual one, at 7 p.m. on December 31st, and we are going to have a whole bunch of talent: the Kelly Girls, Raylan Moore Opera, Ben Pratt Magician, and you make a donation and you get admitted to the show. It'll be starts at 7 o'clock, 90 minutes or so of live and some performances on tape. So be on the lookout for our New Year's Eve party information, which you will find on Facebook and everywhere else that we are, including our website. So that's enough on what we're doing. Let me roll right into our first group of guests, and I will bring them on. Is the gang from what we're producing is It's a Wonderful Life. Now I am going to bring in Miss Lisa Bostner, and here she comes in hopefully 5, 4, 3, 2. There is Lisa.
Hello.
I think everyone knows. Let me just get rid of that text on screen. We don't need to have that on there the whole time. I think everyone knows Lisa in terms of stage, screen, television. If you're a fan of some of the mystery shows and the one that goes dun dun, you've seen Lisa many times on that, and Pan Am, and of course the Peterborough Players stage and the New York stage, and movies as well. So Lisa is here, and oh yes, and Lisa is my beautiful and wonderful and talented wife. Hello, darling.
Hello, sweetheart.
Now, let us bring in the man that helped make this show possible. Let me find him here. There he is. Brought this idea to us a few months ago, and his name is Mr. John Manning.
Yay!
And
hello, everybody.
Get up your. That is John Manning, actor extraordinaire, and I know some folks welcome John, but I'm going to give a little intro to help identify you to some of our audience who probably saw you as in a show by playwright Jack Neary that we had. Kind of like, I think that was the first reading that you and Jocelyn did before you took it on the road, right?
That's correct. We did a Jack Neary play called First Night, and we had big ambitions and big goals for it. And your theater hosted the first ever reading of it, and then we got to tour it all over the place. We brought it to the Firehouse in Newburyport, Merrimack Repertory Theater, the Larkham Theater. So you all started that, and we had a great time with that show.
It's a great story. Basically takes place, some people in the audience, I think most will, but some may not remember what a VHS rental store was in 1985, I believe it's set. And John manages that store, and a woman comes in, and he doesn't really know where she's from initially. And then the mystery and the romance evolves right from there. And it happens, that happens on, that's a New Year's Eve show, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Of the show. Yeah. So we've known John, and then I'll let Lisa talk about John, because Lisa, after that, getting to know him, Lisa has worked with him and has cast him. Lisa, talk about John for a second.
John is one of my faves. He's marvelous. He came to me, I forgot who it was, through the Buzz McLaughlin's program, the New Hampshire Institute of Art, that I did with Buzz. It was a great group of writers and a great group of actors. And one of the writers, who was it, John? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Tom Davinsky.
It was Tom Davinsky, one of my favorite writers as well.
Yeah.
He said you should meet this guy, and he was absolutely right. And that was several years ago, and we've stayed in touch since then. Yeah. True talent. And John was the one who again came to Steve and I and said, he brought this play, and I immediately said, I can't imagine a better George Bailey. Well, there's Jimmy Stewart, John. So John and Jimmy Stewart are neck and neck for George Bailey. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And it's odd, our world is such a small world and so connected. After our first rehearsal, I wanted to get a hold of the author to ask him a couple of questions. And the author said, you and I have worked together years ago in Connecticut a couple of times. So there's a connection with the author and this production as well. It's 6 degrees, maybe 4 degrees of separation.
Well, and when John first talked about this, it was pre-COVID, because we were talking about doing it on stage.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
On our new stage.
I forgot about that.
But then we had to kind of start talking about the virtual world of how to produce it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. And
it's great fun. It's a great cast. It's a great fun. And this story it just gets me every time. Yeah. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those that just, it never grows old. It always has so many touch points to your own personal life. It's a perfect companion to A Christmas Carol.
It is. That it really, you do leave both of these with the same feeling. I think of a renewed belief in humanity, and the worth of even a single human being, and how they can touch the lives of everyone around them. They're gorgeous stories.
I'm going to bring another actor in. I'm trying to find him in our row of guests tonight. Let me see where he got to. Hold on here. Somewhere on this list, I think he's here.
Ken Sheldon.
Well, that's funny. You were here, Ken.
He
Ken,
was.
you are here? Good Lord. We've never had this many guests on at once, so I guess I'm. No, wait a minute. There he is. And hold on, and we're going to get
There he is.
And let me give you.
Hey, John. Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
Hey, Ken. And speaking of perfect casting, Ken, amongst a myriad of other characters, is playing Clarence, and just perfect. That's one thing that we should say about this production. Other than a couple of exceptions, John and Jocelyn, who plays, George and young George, and Jocelyn plays Mary and young Mary. Everybody else plays a myriad of characters. So you'll see the actors putting on different hats. Sometimes having a conversation with themselves as two different characters. It's quite. It'll be fun for the audience.
And Lisa, why don't you for a moment talk about the Brian's role in this, Mr. Brian Dozer.
Ah, yes. Well, I actually think that John should, because John is the one who brought Brian on, right, John?
All right.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah,
tell
tell
us about Brian.
Great fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Dozer, I met in Hamilton, Mass. many years ago. We did a production of Mary Poppins together, and then we did a bunch of different shows together in Hamilton. And Brian would always talk to me about sound and how much he loved sound and the different venues he had worked at. And I always was really impressed by whenever I would see a show he did any kind of sound effects on. And I remember when this idea was kind of percolating in my head, I sort of kind of gently brought the idea to him. I said, hey, there's this play that the idea of it is it's a radio play that's being broadcast out. Would you think about potentially doing the Foley effects? And he said, oh, I would love to do that. And he's a really skilled person. It's amazing to watch him in rehearsal in his little room. He has all these different things that he creates, the sound effects of the show, with, like, walking through the snow, and the different music that plays when we transition up to heaven and see Clarence and Joseph. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's a really talented guy.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, I think he's going to add another little special element, and everyone does. Ken, I know, and I think people know Ken very well because, in fact, he had a great show on his encore Christmas show last week.
Yeah.
That was absolutely so charming, so funny. Loved it, and Lisa and I were watching it together and getting a lot of good laughs. But Ken, I'll ask you know this story very well. What are your thoughts on playing Clarence and It's a Wonderful Life as a story?
Well, first of all, it feels like a plum role. I mean, just so fun to have that part. So it's an honor. And when Lisa asked me and she told me who was going to be in it, there's my dear friend Kathy Manfrey and her daughter Caitlin, who's a wonderful actress, and John, who he and I have done something together before. And so I said, yes, of course. And I just love the story, especially this time of year, following on what Lisa was saying. I think at this time of year and during this particular crisis, this story is about community. It's about people being connected in ways that they don't even know they're connected. And we've all seen how important that is right now. So it really resonates with the time we're in. So I'm very excited.
Yeah,
it does. Speaking of the cast, I'm going to temporarily take myself off, and I'm going to turn it over to Lisa and John and Ken. You can all talk about the rest of the cast, because somewhere in my bag of tricks here, I have all the pictures of the cast. So let me try.
And they're not here, so we can talk about them.
that's right, behind their backs.
They're all friends, so we won't be catty.
Right. Okay, so we have got top left. We've got Andrea Cornelius, who's oh boy, she's a Renaissance woman. There's nothing she can't do and do beautifully. And in this production, she is our stage manager, but she also plays the stage manager in the show. And then we've got Jocelyn. Help me with her last name pronunciation, John.
It's Duford.
Duford, who's the lovely actress who John did First Night with, and she is our Mary and young Mary. Then we have the Caitlin, the Manfrey ladies, Caitlin and her mom Kathy, playing a myriad of characters and playing them all beautifully. Then we have John Manning. Then we've got Ken Sheldon. Michael is plays. He's the one. He's got some hysterical scenes talking to himself. He does play Mr. Potter. He plays Uncle George, Uncle Billy. Sorry, Uncle Billy, and a myriad of others. And then that's our sound effects man there. Just marvelous. Yeah. So it's these people who are bringing to life all of the characters from It's a Wonderful Life. There's not, I don't think that there's anything cut out. Is there, John, from what we are used to in the movie?
No, all the big speeches that you hope will be there are there.
All the characters played, with these actors, and it's great fun.
I think the other thing that's fun about this is that being an AirSAT's radio play, the audience gets to see how a radio drama is put together and gets to see Brian, playing the xylophone or making his sound effects. So that's fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, I thank the cast, our cast members here. I thank our director, and we hope that you will join this incredible cast as they bring this, this storyline that has touched so many hearts for so many years. That you will join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. It will be live, and you can get your tickets to get into the show and watch it on your tablet. You can watch it on a laptop. You can watch it on a desktop, but you can also, if you have the right equipment, if you have a Roku or if you have an Apple TV, you can go to Broadway On Demand, just search that, and you go to your Google Play Store or your App Store for your Apple TV, or if you have Roku, just search Broadway On Demand, and you can connect your account. Once you've bought your ticket, you set up a little account with Broadway On Demand with your email and password, and you can put it up on the big screen. I know some people who are adept at this. You don't even need that. You know how to take your laptop or you can mirror your laptop up to your big TV or your tablet or your Android or your iPhone. Or you can get them at least get these folks into a bigger format, which I certainly would recommend. I think they would too. But if you're on a train, going somewhere, and you want to watch it on a train,
we're in the bathroom.
So, all right. Well, again, cast, Mr. Ken Sheldon, Mr. John Manning, and my wonderful Lisa Bostner. Thank you so much. The cast of It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play tomorrow night. And I should also tell you that tomorrow night will be taped and an encore on-demand performance. You can buy tickets for the same cost of ticket on Christmas Eve. What a perfect time. Anytime. It could be 9 a.m. in the morning you want to see it as you wake up Christmas Eve. Anytime during the day you can get an encore performance of it. And that's good for 24 hours. So you can watch it live. Wait till the 24th. You can watch it taped. And we thank everyone and happy holidays.
Happy holidays and welcome, Deborah and Christopher. Looking forward to seeing you.
And yes, so thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. How do we get out of this room? Help.
Help us.
Do
I'm
something.
back.
Hi.
You don't know what happens around here, but we have able people. If I just went left, these folks could handle it. But okay, thanks again, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks, honey.
All right. Now, thank you again, cast of It's a Wonderful Life. And there's so many others that are part of this show, and we hope that you get a chance to see them do their magic. Now, we have more magic, and this is magic that's been going on for 25 years. And I'm going to bring on the founder of, again, if I find everybody here, the founder of Project Shakespeare, Deborah Shakespeare Thurber. And here, Deborah, we're going to get her through the magic of, should be 3, 2, 1. Deborah, hello there.
Hello.
So good to have you here. This is a night of wonderful holiday entertainment, and we've had Deborah and the team from Project Shakespeare on Monadnock Tonight previously. They're good anytime to be on the show, talking about what they do so well, and for so many others and so many children. But in December, it's a whole nother level, because there's something very special they do every year. And Deborah, and it's called simply A Christmas Carol. And Deborah, how many years have you been doing A Christmas Carol?
12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
And where was it first performed?
It was first performed, I believe, at the
And it's a little bit of a freeze there. Maybe other people are not seeing it. You're back. You were frozen there for a second. It was first performed.
I'm sorry, we did it at the Jaffrey Women's Club downtown with about 10 students maybe, and they did all sorts of different roles. We had it was very different than what we do today. It certainly has grown and changed. There were storytellers, which I got either a parent of one of the students to do, or I had my husband doing it at the time, and they would sit in chairs and sort of tell this story. So that's when we began. That we didn't have music. Now there's music. Now there's dancing. At one point, we had 36 students do it. This year, we have about 12 students doing it. But also, because it's virtual, you know what people have been saying all year long is, yes, it's too bad we're not on stage, but the virtual world has opened up other avenues and other opportunities. So in this production is another associate director of mine who is a former student who has a lovely daughter who's 10, and she, Angela Varum, and her daughter Saskia, who live in Los Angeles, they're playing roles. And then a friend of mine from professional theater in Boston 20-something years ago, Neil Mcgarry, is doing all of the Mr. Fezziwig stuff, because he does a one-man show that he toured in the Massachusetts and New Hampshire area. Then he also has toured it through Europe. So he's doing that part. And then, of course, there's Christopher Commander and Sarah Wendy Berman, my current associate directors, who are in England together. And so they did some of the roles. Plus, Christopher is really the magic behind this show.
Well, speaking of the magic, let's, through the magic of the internet, from London. Let me get Christopher's. There he is. Here he comes.
So, hello, Christopher.
Hello.
You dressed.
Hello, Christopher.
Well.
I know. This is the only time I get to go out. This is as close to me going out as I get. So
yeah, you're so true on that. This is we've taken a virtual walk down the street here. I
was just going to say, so this year, Christopher got, well, first it was going to start where everyone, all the cast, came to my house. You know how they have curbside pickup for food? They did curbside pickup for props and costumes. So literally everyone just picked up their stuff. And because I thought we were going to be filming it just from the waist up, sort of like we are now, I gave them costumes from the waist up. So I actually sent you a picture, which was pretty funny. I don't know if you're going to show it or not, but they're in costume. So they're middle 1800s from the waist up, and then they're in their, leggings and sneakers. Down below.
I think we may have that one in our selection that we've pulled of what you sent.
Okay. They were all going to do their scenes at home. That was my original intent. So I told them, find a fireplace, find a Christmas tree, go outside. And so we had sort of some similar backdrops. But then you never know what a former student is going to tell you. Grace Ramsden, who has graduated and about to go to school actually in England next year, she was helping me film at Aldworth Manor. And she said, well, why don't you just get as many students together and start to create places? So Aldworth Manor in Harrisville allowed us to use their place as a shooting place. I don't do film. I don't know what it's called. A location. There we go.
Location, sure.
Thank you. Jaffrey Center, we used the horse sheds. We used the meeting house. We used the church. They had a little red schoolhouse up there, so I used that as the school where Ebenezer was as a kid. And then we also went to Hancock Inn and used that for the bedroom scenes and also the knocker for Barley. And so then suddenly kids got to also get together. So not only Ken was telling about how these are important because of community. Yeah. Certainly the theme that hit me about Christmas Carol this year more than anything was family. We're all going to be celebrating Christmas with our family, and not our extended family, but who's in the little house with us right now, our little pods. And that's what this play celebrates, is that strength. The Cratchits are poor, but they're rich because they have love and family.
Absolutely.
Ebenezer Scrooge is rich because of his sister Fan, and then Fred. So I really think this year, as I recut the show, which I do every year, I really focused on family. So we did all these taping things, and then it got shipped overseas to England. And Christopher showed me, he has like this computer thing that has a gazillion little pieces on it that are all the different scenes. There's like, how many? 37 scenes or more. And so he got it all, and then he has to like make sense of it. It's like getting, 100 puzzle pieces and saying, okay, put it together to make a puzzle. And
well, Christopher, the work that I've seen Christopher do before, he's quite an editor and video whiz, and with such creative flair. I think this would be a great time. We also stand by, everybody. We have Wendy from London as well, but let's look at your trailer for the show. Let me bring that in, and let's take a peek at that.
I didn't even know we had a trailer.
Scrooge lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. They were a gloomy suite of rooms. Fog and frost hung about the black old gateway of the house. Now it is a fact that there is nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had seen it night and morning during his whole residency in that place. And then, let any man explain to me, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, saw in the knocker, not a knocker, but Marley's face. It was not angry or ferocious, but looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look. As Scrooge looked fixedly at this phenomenon, it was a knocker again.
Ooh. I've got to say,
I just saw that for the first time today, and I was like, oh my gosh, Christopher, I love it. And yeah. Indigo Wolf, who's a student playing Marley, that's her face. So.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, your video trickery is, you're working up at this level. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And that gives me a good taste of what's to follow. Let me bring in, again, is Wendy in London as well, or outside of London?
Sarah Wendy is technically over here. She decided that originally she was going to be doing studying over here anyway, and that sort of got cancelled basically, but she could still do online studying. So she figured, why don't I just take my online study and go visit the place that I would have been anyway, and then I get to explore and also do my studying. So she's over here.
All right. Well, let's bring her in. And I also apologize, Sarah Wendy Berman. I said Wendy, but hello, Sarah Wendy.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello. I get lots of iterations of my name. It's not the first, so.
Well, so glad that you can join us along with your partners in this wonderful production that you have all assembled, produced, and, well, Christopher assembling and getting ready to debut. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What roles do you play, Sarah? Sarah.
Oh gosh, I play Belle in the Ghost of Christmas Past section. I play a caroler at the beginning who gives Dickens a little bit of inspiration when he is having a major case of writer's block. And I play all around behind the scenes musical accompaniment and moral support.
Aren't you playing your violin?
Yes, I am.
Hey. Yeah.
So just going back for a second, Deborah or anyone, to answer this, 37 scenes, how many locations again did you shoot at?
We shot at Jaffrey Center, and I used the school, the horse sheds, the meeting house, the woods, and the church. Then we used Aldworth Manor to do the counting house, because all that nice wood inside Aldworth Manor. And we did some outdoors there. And then at the Hancock Inn, we used a bedroom so that all of Scrooge's bedroom scenes happened in the same location. And like out the window, when Scrooge is talking to the intelligent fine lad at the end, it's out a window. And then when Ben Mishu, who plays the intelligent fine lad, when he's running down the street, it's the street right in front of the Hancock Inn. But then I have some students or actors who are not with us here. So I have students in Hampstead, I think is the town. So they did it all in their home. Neil Mcgarry is in Italy. So he did the Fezziwig stuff that he did there. And Angela and Saskia did their stuff in Los Angeles. So it really was like around the world of Christmas.
It's great. Because we can only have 4, we can only do a quad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off for a second here, and I'm going to put on the 3 images that I put up in our gallery, and I'll let any of you describe them, and then I'll be right back. So talk amongst yourselves as I.
Well, I mean, what more is there to say about A Christmas Carol? It's one of those stories. There we go. Here's our first set.
Okay, so that's the meeting house. That's actually Sarah Wendy's sisters, Molly. Not looking very happy in that picture.
Probably old.
Brooke, her other sister. So yeah, I just wanted a picture. And it was really nice because I'm going, how are we going to put the Scrooge and Marley sign up? And it fit perfectly in the window. So so that was that scene. And then this is in the horse shed. So I wanted them to be like an interior scene. And I went, oh, we'll go in here. There's Ben Mishu playing Ghost of Christmas Past. And Anna Taylor. Anna Taylor began Christmas Carol when she was about 9, I think. And she was a little Cratchit kid. And now she's a senior, and she is our Scrooge. The other thing I have to really give credit to the actors about, we did a Zoom read-through, and then we met while it was still not freezing cold in my backyard to socially distance and all that, and read it. But otherwise, the students had to learn their lines, learn their scenes, and then just perform them. We didn't have 2 or 3 weeks of rehearsal. For some of them, they've been in this show for 10 years, and so they know the show. But still, Ben had never done this part before. Anna had never done this part before. And they kind of had to bring their A game to like the first rehearsal, if you will, when we started filming. So, oh, and that's inside Aldworth Manor, and that's Seamus Malloy, and that's Ghost of Christmas Present. And he only got to join us because he goes to school in Maryland, I think it is. And unfortunately, there was a COVID case, so they shipped him home, and he got to be with us. So there he is. Hey.
It's interesting talking about locations, actually, because we've got all this wide variety. And it's quite interesting because Deborah I've given her a couple of tasters, but she also doesn't know what I've done on my end because I have a section that I am in charge of, apart from putting it together. Because I play the writer's blocked, stricken Charles Dickens. So I got to do that with my sort of ideals and artistic flair on this side of things. So there's a couple of locations that some beautiful places that I managed to wheedle my way into. I went straight up to this one lovely mansion and I said, "Hey, I know you're cleaning and you're not allowed to film here, but can I film a tiny, tiny scene?" And she went, "Yeah, no problem." So there's that to look forward to too.
Well, my understanding is that Sarah Wendy and you, Christopher, might do a little scene for us.
Yeah, sure.
Well, then Deborah and I will move to the wings and let you folks take the stage. So hold on one sec. And
so with a little bit of context, put yourself in the mind of Ebenezer Scrooge. He's been taken from his bed by the ghost of Christmas past to show all of the lovely things that have happened to him as a child and some of the not so nice things. And this is one of his long-time girlfriend, and he's lost time together. Belle.
I thought you might not come. I know how busy you are.
Well, time of the year and the nature of my business, it's now more important than ever that I use my time and opportunity wisely.
Another idol has displaced me.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it condemns with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you, am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until in good season we could improve our worldly fortune by our own patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you you are not what you were. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
You think not.
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows. But if you were free today, tomorrow, yesterday, could even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? You who weigh everything by gain. Or choosing her, do I not know that your repentance and regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you. With a full heart for the love of him you once were. You may, the memory of what is past half makes me hope you will have pain in this. A very, very brief time, and you will dismiss the recollection of it gladly, as an unprofitable dream from which it happened well that you awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
And you'll have to tune into Christmas Carol to see how that affects our Ebenezer Scrooge in his journey to redemption and joy and love of Christmas and all that jazz.
Hubris and all that.
Wow. There we all are. Well, that is wonderful. And my goodness, what you folks put together is really quite astounding. And I think what Deborah, you were saying earlier about, it's we've been put through, everyone's been, but certainly people in theater have been put through quite their own type of issues with COVID over the past 9-10 months. But there is something about creativity that comes forward, even in the times of crisis, through everyone, let alone the theatrical arts. Everyone is trying to figure out how to do things with all these kind of chains around us. But I have to, I have to say, I think you're right, in terms of some of these things that we would have never thought of doing before, even once we get, God willing, sometime next year past the majority of this, that I think will continue. That there is a place for, I think, certainly filmed entertainment, virtual entertainment, that I know the Park Theater will have it as an adjunct to, there's nothing better than live, and we'll never say there's nothing better than live, because there is nothing better than live. But, it's so funny that I've talked to people about some of the programs that we've put on, and you get people that are sending emails in and saying, because maybe for whatever reason, health or whatever, or they don't live here any longer, they say, I was able to get a taste of that when I was never able to. And so this technology can bring extra people into our audiences that we never had before. So there is that opportunity.
I think too, this Christmas, not only like our Christmas Carol, which I'll give you all that info now, is dropping, is launching. What's the word, Christopher? It's going on our YouTube channel, and it's free. There's no cost to this. One thing I was very clear about when all this happened is that Project Shakespeare could at least, for 1 year, do all performances. Everything has been tuition free, a ticket free, so that there's no cost for you to see it. And that will be starting on December 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be at our YouTube channel, and Christopher will put the link up on our website, and it'll be easy for you to get to.
So after that, you'll be able to see it on an encore basis.
Yes, and all the time. And what's on our website right now is the Speak the Speech that we did this summer, that Sarah Wendy and Christopher did, but that was primarily Sarah Wendy's baby, I think we could say, was her plays. You can still see that. And then the Macbeth that we did this summer, Christopher took our experience and put it into a 23-minute documentary. So you got to see, how do you do a Shakespeare play in the time of COVID? And it's 23 minutes. It's really, really good. And it's on our website as well. And so this will go there as well, and they'll stay there. Where it says past productions now, there will be links to these. And we're not limited, I don't think, by how long they stay up. So they'll be there. The other thing I just wanted to say, and I think, yes, in this time, we really need to support, all the arts. But in terms of theater, this year only, you can see the Christmas Carol that they're doing at the Old Vic. That's the Jack Thorne production. You can see the one that you talked about, Jefferson Mays. I've signed up to see one from Trinity Rep and one from a Virginia Stage. There are so many across the country that are now accessible to us.
Yeah, no, that's again one of the wonderful benefits, and I hope that theater companies and producers allow this to continue. Everyone needs to, whether you're a nonprofit, or as most are, or commercial, that giving some of this back to the audience, and especially, beyond geography, as you're saying, that they'll be open to that, because I think it will inevitably bring people back into the theater as well.
Absolutely, but there was a really great piece in the New York Times about going forward, how is this going to change theater? And I think the fact that it can now be accessible, putting Hamilton on TV so that it was accessible, even if you can't pay $600 for a ticket, whatever, the accessibility, I think, is huge. And the sharing of the art and the sharing of what we do. No, it's not the same as being there live. This time of year, we're going to inns and we're performing in these inns, and people are eating dinner and we're like elbow to elbow doing Christmas Carol with them. And I miss that. I miss it so much. But the other side of it is the accessibility, and that hopefully still the actors' love of what they're doing, whether it's a Wonderful Life radio play that's happening tomorrow night, or our Christmas Carol, or the myriad of other things that are going on. Really, at a time when people need this so much, isn't it wonderful that we're the people that get to have the honor to bring this into their homes?
No question. It's wonderful, and you guys have always put a lot of your material online. So and more as time has gone over. Just let me double check. I just want to, because I'm going to put it up for our audience. It is your URL is projectshakespeare.org.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just put that up there, so that folks, it's pretty easy to remember, but you might as well see it live as well. But go to projectshakespeare.org. Obviously, Project Shakespeare. I'm sure there's a link there to your YouTube videos, but to see not only to get ready for the Christmas Eve show at 5 p.m. Eastern that we're talking about today, of A Christmas Carol, but everything else that Project Shakespeare produces. And hopefully next year sometime you'll be able to see them live. But in between, and certainly December 24th, you'll be able to see the creativity and the talent that Deborah and Christopher and Sarah Wendy all put together with their cast and crew. I can't thank you enough for being here. We will remind people on the Park Theater website, or Facebook's page, certainly, to tune in on Christmas Eve, free of charge, and you see your wonderful production. And happy holidays to all of you.
Thank you.
Bye. Happy Christmas.
So, goodbye to London. It's always good.
Well, don't say goodbye. We're still here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
we know you're still here.
It's snowy here.
I know, it's not snowy here. Anyway.
It's snowy there. Okay.
All right.
Thank you
all the best.
so much.
Take care.
Good night, everyone. And thanks so much for being with us. Let's see if I can do this right. Bye-bye, Deborah.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. So that's a night of talent here on Monadnock Tonight. And I hope that everyone's getting these dates down. Obviously, you can go to theparktheater.org. You can go to projectshakespeare.org. There is a wonderful amount of holiday entertainment that's being brought to you into your home. And, during these times, it's nice that we're able to do that. And also some of it being original productions. That's wonderful. So I highly recommend that you sample tomorrow night again. It's a Wonderful Life, live at 7 p.m., December 18th. Go to theparktheater.org, get your ticket or tickets, and then it'll be repeated on Christmas Eve on demand. Also, Project Shakespeare, go to their YouTube channel or to their website. A Christmas Carol, their new production that's been taped all over the world, will be on Christmas Eve, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on demand after that. As I said before, the other Christmas Carol with starring Jefferson Mays is available to watch. You could watch it tonight. Why not? watch it this weekend or anytime and through January 3rd. And again, you can get your tickets there, of which it's a major donation for every ticket comes back to us from the production company that created that show. So we thank you for your support if you buy a ticket to the Jefferson Mays one-man show of A Christmas Carol. So we've got that. Don't forget, we've got Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, starts free tomorrow. All this stuff is there. And we wish you all Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, and many others to everyone. Just happy holidays and good tidings. We know we're not going to be with many family members and friends this year, but that's this year. There is next year. And everyone at the Park Theater wishes you the happiest of holidays. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, thank you to the cast and crew of It's a Wonderful Life and to the cast and crew at Project Shakespeare of A Christmas Carol. This is Steve Jackson signing off. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time. Except I do want to, as I always say, if you have any questions on anything, or if you have an idea for a guest, just email us at parktheater@theparktheater.org or give us a call Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 532-9300, 532-9300. And as we always say at the end of our show, these have been trying times, but please be safe in what you do. We want you to be healthy. And of course, be kind to everyone. It's always good to be kind all year round, but especially amongst these holidays, which for some are not as joyous as they normally are. So be kind to all and be hopeful for next year and what 2021 can bring everyone around the world. And remember, we are and we can do this. Thank you and good night.